Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Andrew La, Lowsutea president. I'm so happy to be able to see every one of you, quite a few people from all over the world, actually, where we have people from Hong Kong, United States, Hawaii, Canada, quite a few different places. That was really nice. And also Philippines. People are continuing slang on right now. And we really actually was happy that you folks can join us. And the reason why is that I know a couple of weeks ago, we talked about all different things about kidney disease and all that. And you will really wonder why we continue to drive this type of webinar. And it is really at the end of the day, we found that many people actually, at the end of the day, they don't seem to, once the doctor tell them they're pre-diabetic or diabetes, and I found that many of my customers actually came back saying, hey, I was totally surprised. They told me that I will be a diabetic or I will be a pre-diabetic. In their mind, psychologically, they are totally not prepared. So net result of that, they became very confused, very stressed. And on top of that, many of them say, is it real? Cannot be. I cannot be a diabetic. Look, I'm healthy. I have no sign and symptom. So actually, I did a short interview with quite a few of my existing clients and asked them how do they find out their diabetes and what is the first reaction. And many of them actually came back and say, I didn't know I would be diabetic. They were very surprised. On top of that, they also say, many of them, wow, how can it be? Not me. So they started getting really denial. They don't know what to do. They do not know what kind of action they need to take next steps, on and on and on. And also the doctor or the nurse will come back and say, hey, so-and-so, Mrs. Wong is one of my customers, that, you know what, I will send you the diabetic class. And she actually attended this diabetic class. But the sad part is what came in here, it went out the other side. Really, she cannot capture much. And thereafter, the classes end, they never really hook them up to do other classes. So whatever you heard on the class, and they basically, the key message is, oh, you're gonna have taken less sugary food. That's the key message. But is it really the true key message you can help you to lower blood sugar? I can assure you that is not. And so as time goes on, the message they got are fairly much forgotten. And that result, they do the same old again. And this is exactly quite a few number of customer patients that I interview. They basically told me the similar story here and there, similar story. Because they said, you know, Andrew, I have no sign and symptom. Seriously, I don't feel sick. And so they did the same old lifestyle, no change. The food, on the other hand, they did lower their so-called low sugar food, meaning is just cut down the dessert. But they still eat a lot of dessert, but just cut down. But the blood sugar continued to go up. You know why? They continue still eating rice. Many of my Shanghainese and northern Chinese people, worse that they eat the bun, is like the white buns of Chinese, like the char siu bao bun. The blood sugars are like skyrocketing because they don't eat rice. They don't think the bun has the issue because it's not sweet. The bun is just a bun. So net result, even in dieting, they're not clear. They have not really explored much in diet. They certainly have not explored much in this research. So as time goes on, they are continuing lifestyle. They haven't changed much. They have not exercised. The weight is about the same or continue to gain because of the fact that as they go older, it's getting harder and harder to keep the weight down. So after 10, 15 years, then the doctor tell him that, whoa, you know what? Your blood sugar is really out of control. Then he said, wow, how can it be? The second shock again. I give example, Mrs. Wong is a good example, which Dr. Larry Chen that we talked about last time. You know why? Because she basically has 53 identify, age 53 identify she's a diabetic. But there was just, at that time, not severe diabetic, it's just early diabetic. She already cut down a lot of her dessert. Basically, she told me, I really be a good girl. I've cut down dessert, and da, da, da. But she eat the same old diet, meaning a lot of rice, a lot of buns, a lot of dim sum. Dim sum is bad, by the way. You have char siu bao, you know, the white bun every time you eat. You can boost up your blood sugar all the way to, 16 for Hong Kong, and then for America will be somewhere in the neighborhood 200 above. So they are continue to really get themselves in a not good situation without knowing. And they do not really check the blood sugar either because they have no sign symptom. Why should I poke myself? It's very painful every time, right? So as time goes on, they see the doctor every 6 months or not even 3 months. Many of them see the doctor 6 months. And then as time goes on, they start going down to now 65 years old from 53. Boy, it got shocked because they said, wow, you mean that my blood sugar is out of control now? My kidney is getting bad. And if I don't do anything now, I will start getting to end up with dialysis. So all these things, I start getting back to them and start realizing, wow, I got to take this seriously. So imagine if Mrs. Wong really do not get herself be motivated to do something, because what really got her to do something was nothing new. She know about it from before, but never got into her head. The thing is, then she started realizing, I need dialysis. Now she realizing, wow, this is very severe. Then she started acting. But even with that, she acting all funny ways. She went to herbal medicine. She went to see Chinese doctor to get Chinese medicine. But that didn't work either. And at the end of the day, lucky she found out in October last year and started really doing Lowsutea. And then she started realizing, wow, I really missed the boat. It is not only drinking the tea, not only the dieting, but I need to do exercise, walk like 150 minutes a week. I need to also lower her weight. Her weight actually low down from a 30 BMI above and went down to 28. Those are kind of things that she didn't think that I need to do all that. And that totally missed the boat. So it's really sad. But lucky she acted at the end. And now she have only 10% more of a kidney function, which still work. But according to Professor Larry Chen, this function, if she behave and continue to control her blood sugar, will be stay the same at 40% and will not end up will be 30 and then she end up dialysis. And it could be the next 20 years. So she will be 89 years old. It still works. So imagine that if we didn't stop at that stage, what will be the end results going to be? You think about it. And she was so happy. She was so grateful. She said, Lowsutea became the gift of life for me. The reason is because I was able to stop it. And now I know what to do. And she felt that our webinar really helpful for her to basically prevent her from getting serious sickness. And that was the key message she gave back to me, and so happy. And I want to share that with you. 各位朋友，我係 Andrew Lau Lowsutea President。我講一個故事俾你聽啦，小故事啦。開始之前點解又再講個 lifestyle 咧？個原因咧就係好多人咧，其實即係 after 阿 Larry Chen 嗰個Professor Larry Chen 嗰個講座啊，關於呢個糖尿病、腎病咧點解咁重要咧？咁原來咧好多糖友咧 find out 點解佢係腎病嘅時候咧，即係全部 surprise 嘅，即係都唔知係點解會有嘅。 當佢有嘅時候咧，佢真係應付唔到啊，頭就咁。第一就係好多時咧就會係好抗拒呢個 message， 唔係嘛？我點會有糖尿病㗎？我得50幾歲啫嘛咁。咁但係咧，其實咧好多時咧都唔知原來糖尿病咧唔係淨係年齡，同埋 on top of that 咧，你係好多人都可以有嘅，你個生活啊就係咁。佢都即係聽過一堂書嘅。咁聽一堂書係點咧？佢醫嘢入嗰度出，其實就 absorb 唔到嘅。咁同埋咧，亦都冇繼續鼓勵咧。你睇下，如果你就讀書啊，你都唔可以聽一堂書，你就識晒所有嘢啦，係咪？咁其實好多嘢改變啦。咁所以其實咧，最後咧就好重要咧，真係要唔淨止繼續聽書啦，要繼續去了解。咁好似阿黃太咁啦，咁佢係53歲嘅糖尿病，到依家係到65歲。咁其實已經有好多問題出現，哇 ！That's really sad。嗰個問題出現之後咧，佢係變咗咧係有好多併發症啦。咁佢 try 好多嘢，食中藥啦，都搞唔到嘅。咁最後就揾到我哋咧去飲去糖茶啦。好彩佢話：哇 ，Andrew， 我真係多謝你啊！呢個係俾咗嗰個真係可以講一生嘅禮物。點解咁講咧？因為佢依家其實知道咧，佢個腎咧仲有40% function。嗱就唔會繼續好嘅，只係平穩咁40%。咁最低係佢唔會 end up 咧做咗呢個咩啊？去咗洗腎。咁同埋咧，佢第時咧，如果佢去咗洗腎，個 cost 好高啦，生活亦都好影響啦。咁但係佢覺得依家做咗之後咧，飲去糖茶好有幫助啦，降低血糖啦。第二咧，佢有個生活習慣全部改咗啊。咁佢亦都磅數改咗BMI 30去到28啦。咁亦都聽我哋講書啦。咁其實佢話：我人生未聽過咁多書咧，原來咁有用嘅。佢依家先知道有用喎。咁佢就好感激我哋有呢樣啦。咁佢就講話：你就係一個即係無私嘅公司，俾到佢哋有咁好嘅東西啦。咁呢個係 very good 嘅。So I hope that the story helped you to understand. Really, majority of people actually got into diabetes, understand pre-diabetic, are all accident.And I think the previous story tell you Mrs. Wong and quite a few patients, they all very similar. They found out, the accident, they don't do anything, they don't try anything, end up their diabetes just get worse and worse and worse until that day they realize if I don't do anything, I will crash. Like, for example, your kidney disease, you need dialysis, or your heart attack where you need bypass. All that came along, then they start, I better do something.So just want to give you this story. Okay, now I want to today, this is a really, really a good, I want to make things very simple for you guys. The reason is because I want simple for you folks to able to learn this and able to remember very quickly. So that way you can absorb this and I will continue repeat. So really sunk in. I tell you, a lot of people don't sunk in, as you know. And so today, the typical things that we talk about is if you are pre-diabetic or diabetic, what kind of lifestyle really change you need to have in order for you to actually get the benefit to help your control your blood sugar and not being able to get diabetic complication or reverse your pre-diabetic. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what is diabetes. As you remember, I talk about diabetic never get well. You and only can control. And when you control, you need to make sure control what? Your blood sugar. The why is so bad because diabetes get your plaques and cholesterol get together, blood become very thick, and plaque stop your, it plug up everywhere, the entire body blood vessels. So net result, it damage all your vessels, it damage all your organ, and that's why it's the whole body, which is really make very bad for your body. That's why diabetic is worse than actually, a doctor would say, wow, diabetic is actually worse than COVID-19. And you have to keep your A1C, which is the blood sugar attached to the hemoglobin, the percent of blood sugar attached to hemoglobin, you have to be below 6.4. So if you are diabetes or pre-diabetic, it's the same thing. You have to control your blood sugar. And how do you do that? You have to proper dieting. I will talk a little bit more about proper dieting mean. You have to exercise, you have to weight control, you have to measure your blood sugar in order to tell, because without that, you cannot tell. And then you have to have, all your diet change, not to drink white powder, not to eat white powder food, not drink juice or soda, and certainly drink Lowsutea to help you. 各位糖友記住，糖尿病永遠都唔好嘅，只係能夠控制。控制咧，因為佢全身咧係，如果你唔控制啲糖咧，會塞晒所有血管同埋個所有嘅身體裏邊每一個機能嘅organ。咁變咗，如果你係塞咗落去嘅時候咧，係唔翻轉頭啊！記住，糖尿病前期患病 same thing 一樣嘅啫，都係要降低血糖，最好你就降低過你嘅 A1C 6.4。咩嘅 A1C 咧就紅血球嗰啲糖黐住紅血球係百分之幾多個 percent 嘅。咁呢個咧係每個人都係咁度㗎啦。咁你應該要做 dieting 啦，即係食物管控制 exercise 啦，同埋 weight management 咧，即係磅數控制啦，要運動啦。同埋唔可以飲好多甜嘢啊，食白色嘅白粉嘅東西啦，飯啊啲咧，咁最好飲去糖茶啦，因為去糖茶真係幫助到你啦，降低血糖嘅。So everybody go through 4 stages of the diabetic development. One, the first stage is the blood sugar goes up, the LDL goes up. LDL is the bad cholesterol. It goes up and it will damage the B cells from the pancreas. The pancreas will come out with the B cells, and the B cell will take the sugar into the cells. If the B cell damage, it doesn't bring sugar into the cells. The pancreas come out more and more blood sugar come out and will not take the sugar into the cells. End up, you have more and more so-called insulin resistance. When you have that happen, your sugar will continue to goes up, and your cholesterol also go up, mixed up with the blood. The blood becomes very thick and you become stage 2. Your blood pressure goes up because it starts forming plaques everywhere and thickening to entire body. And it takes years to develop everything. Everything becomes all these plaques forming on your eye, forming your heart, forming your kidney. It starts damaging everything, okay? That's really sad because at the end of the day, if you don't control that, you will die early because of diabetes. Now, since then, the third stage will come because your blood sugar continually goes up. Then your A1C, which is the hemoglobin cells, which is the little cells everybody have, it carry oxygen everywhere, and the percent of sugar measure attached to this hemoglobin, and by the percentage. If you're 5.7, you're a normal person. If you are 6.4 and below, you are actually a pre-diabetic stage. Over 6.4, guess what? You have diabetes. So stage 3, they are continue seeing your blood hemoglobin A1C going up, and then you're not reaching 6.4 yet, but once stage 4, your A1C is beyond your 6.4, you become a diabetic. And once you're diabetic, you measure twice, you basically will ever be diabetic. The doctor is not going to erase your record. So you got to continue to not to get yourself over 6.4 in your A1C, okay? So, 嗱，各位糖友，個個病人都係有4個 stage 嘅 diabetes 嘅。第一個 stage 咧就係佢血糖開上升啦，同埋佢個 LDL 壞嘅膽固醇咧亦都上升。咁呢個咧就 damage 佢損壞佢呢個胰島素出嚟嘅 B cell。B cell 好重要，因為佢係將啲糖帶入個 cells 裏邊。當你轉壞咗嘅時候咧，弊家伙啦！呢個唔 work 嘅時候咧，胰島素繼續出好多 B cell， 但係都唔 work， 咁你就有好多叫 insulin resistance 出現啦，即係個胰島素嘅抗拒啦。咁嗰啲糖加埋你個 LDL cholesterol 會係好結嘅時候咧，咁就 form 呢個最大嘅損壞，就 form plaques，form 咗血塊嘅片咧 all over 成個身體，成個身體眼啦、腎啦、心啦、全個腦啦，好多全部有晒。所以呢個係最大 damage 嘅，因為有咗呢個咧係翻唔到轉頭嘅。咁你第3個 stage 咧，你個血糖咧繼續高咧，咁因為每一個人咧都有呢個叫 hemoglobin 嘅 cells， 呢個紅血球嘅細胞啦。咁呢個咧就係啲糖咧就會黐住個紅血細胞，咁佢 measure 你幾多 percent 糖抽入去黐住呢個 HB 呢個hemoglobin 嘅呢個細胞。咁變咗嚟講咧，如果你係5.7嘅，咁你係普通人啦。如果6.4、6.7之間，你就前期患病者啦。我6.4啫， 糖尿患病者。所以咧好重要咧，你每一個人咧，每個醫生咧，當你糖尿病或者前期咧，佢都度你個叫 A1C， 千祈唔好過6.4 ，OK？ 咁第4個階段，如果你過6.4冇解啦，你就係糖尿病者啦。Now, why people drink Lowsutea works? Because one, guava leaves, which is blocking the sugar entering the cell. Actually, what it does is delay absorption. So easier to understand is just say blocking the sugar going to the cell. Actually, delayed absorption is they don't absorb. Then you just move it out from fecal matter from the gut. And then the thing is real good is the bitter melon. Actually, what it does is it increases the sensitivity of the insulin, so it continues to take more sugar into the cells. Now, the one who cannot take all cells, another second thing is very good is bitter melon take the sugar out from urine and dump it there. And also they take the cholesterol, also dumped it out, and also decrease the salt, also dumped it out. So net result, your salt will go out, your sugar goes out, and your cholesterol goes out. Then you also, all the toxic, the detox will also dump it out. So your blood sugar go down, cholesterol go down, your blood sugar go down, and also you detox. That's why this is such a wonderful, wonderful drink. And you can drink it regularly. It's not a drug. It's just a tea. It's a food supplement. Can help you. It's so wonderful. So 嗱，而呢個去糖茶點 work 嘅咧？第一就有呢個番石榴葉咧，就唔俾啲糖進入去嗰個血管裏邊啦。第二樣嘢就係個苦瓜咧，將啲糖係幫佢增加咗胰島素敏感力，佢就帶翻啲糖入翻細胞包裏邊。咁如果 excess 嘅糖多咗糖，點解佢尿嗰度掉咗出嚟？而呢個膽固醇掉埋出嚟，鹽又掉埋出嚟，所以好多病人飲完之後咧唔會腳腫，同埋仲有 detox。咁啊糖cholesterol 低咗，膽固醇低咗，咁仲有咩？血壓都低埋，三高都低晒。所以呢個係一個十分好嘅東西。So he said, hey, if I don't do anything, like Mrs. Wong said, I have no symptom. Why should I do something? But you know, this is going to start accumulate by years, 5, 10 years. The things that you're going to find out is you're going to have a potential of stroke, increase tremendously. You're going to lose your memory. Remember, your elderly lady keep asking the same old question over and over again, cannot remember because of blood sugar blocking. Or your eye, glaucoma. Majority of people who are actually diabetes, at the end of the day, if the eye damage, they cannot see, they were blind, everything become blur. And then also affected the pancreas, malfunction, you got insulin injection, and also you might affect your heart because 40 to 60% of diabetic patients get heart disease, they get heart attack because all the vessels got plugged. Like last meeting we talk about the coronary artery gets plugged, then end up your heart becomes stopped. Wow, imagine that. That's your engine stop, you die basically. And nerve damage is also very, very bad because what happened, you can feel, and then you affected your gut and everywhere. The nerve damage could be your brain, gut, so tremendously affect you in the sense of all the very typical function. You're going to end up high blood pressure, can be a stroke, damage all your blood vessels because they plugged up all the plaques, and end up you cut yourself, it don't heal, you got to amputate your leg, and you need dialysis because your kidney damaged, called diabetic nephropathy. And then you have also sexual dysfunction because you can't feel. 30% people have no sex because of the nerve damage. Certainly your pregnancy, you have chances of gestation diabetic. If you got well, you have to continue to monitor because eventually you might become a diabetes. So all these, you have to continue to ask yourself to better control and don't get yourself into high blood sugar level. 各位同學，你咩都唔做，好簡單。你唔做嘅時候咧，你又有中風嘅風險啦，有青光眼啦，有胰島素唔出嚟啦，咁你要打胰島素啦。心臟病40%至60%人要心臟病啦，有神經系統損壞啦，有 high blood pressure 啦 ，amputation 啦，即係話斬隻腳啦。 腎病啦，30%人冇呢個性功能啦，同埋咧仲有咧有可能 end up 咧就係你如果 pregnancy 咧就要第時都有可能有呢個糖尿病嘅。So we have a very strong program which give you 5 programs to help you to learn and continue to manage diabetes. Our program, and a lot of people are commenting now, you are so good because we are the only company, we come up with 5 programs, which is teaching you a diet. So not only what you eat, but drinking Lowsutea as a supplement, lower diet, low carb diet. And we'll have all kinds of videos, hundreds of videos to help you out. We're exercising, lower your blood sugars through exercise, very simple, 150 minute walk per week. We have weight control, and then we have Dr. Webinar, which do every week, and also how to measure your blood sugar, the tracking, and bring your A1C down from 10% all the way to 5.7, and that will be your goal. That will be a new goal, basically, and get your blood sugar continue to be in a better blood sugar level. 嗱，各位朋友，其實好多公司咧，其實都冇呢樣嘢嘅，因為好多人都話俾你，哇，好正喎，因為你公司咧係俾咗5個 program，5個 program 有 diet 啦，有隻食嘅東西管理啦，飲去糖茶啦，同埋點樣做運動啦，同埋點樣做呢個weight 重磅嘅控制啦，同埋減磅啦。嗱，減磅係好重要嘅，再講多啲嘢啊。咁同埋咧，每個禮拜都有聽書啦，鼓勵你去做嘢啦，同埋點去度血糖。OK， 希望你嚟做呢樣嘢，由所謂 A1C 10咧去到 5.7， 哇，幾正仔啊，去翻普通人一樣喎。So today we're going to have a webinar talk about how you change your lifestyle. Now, as I mentioned earlier, many people actually found out they're diabetic, really in surprise, and don't look at this lightly because there are 34 million people from USA. They're type 2 diabetic, 34 million. And there are 438 million in the world are diabetic. Worse yet, in pre-diabetic is 1.5 billion people are pre-diabetic. Imagine 1.5 billion. So there's a lot of people are pre-diabetic and diabetes. And you really got to understand, if you have type 2 diabetic, you got to control by your blood sugar, and also you have to control by medication. So you got to do diet change and more, the things that you have to do. And prevent your diabetes continue to progress. Now, also a lot of people found that, wow, gee, I just keep medication, didn't work. The blood sugar keep going out. A lot of people who come to us drinking Lowsutea tell me the same thing. My blood sugar doesn't come down, it continually goes up. So we give them Lowsutea, and then after they start coming down again. So in order for them to do that, they also have to change their lifestyle. In other words, not only control blood sugar by just drinking tea or medication, they also need the program like lifestyle changes, like exercise, all that to enhance the treatment. And pre-diabetic is the same thing. If you can do that, you decrease the risk to be a pre-diabetic patient to convert diabetes. So today's webinar will give you all that tools, and it's very simple tools to remember. 80% statistics actually show us 80% of patients actually found out they're diabetic are in surprise. They said, wow, I'm diabetes. And they are also realized many of them discover that strictly by accident. Either they go to annual physical or whatever. They actually found out they were literally found out they are, like Mrs. Wong, are surprised. They didn't think they will be. Pre-diabetics face the same issue. Many of them also have the same thing. They actually didn't know they will be pre-diabetic. And so if you're diabetic already, usually a doctor will tell you, hey, I will give you some education, tell you what it is. Now, this is really good, but I can tell you, I went to a very expensive places, a center, which is all a rich lady go, and rich people go to, get the medical checkup. And then I found this lady, the nurse said, hey, the doctor said that, your blood sugar is high. And so the lady said, well, what should I do? oh, wow, don't eat too many sweet. And that was it. No more education. Just don't eat too much sweet. And the lady said, oh, okay, I'm not eating sweet already. And her A1C was over 7%. So many doctors probably have the same thing. They just tell you a little bit thing, but not giving you a lot of education. But even they give you one lesson. Do you remember everything? No, majority of people don't. Even 2 lessons, can you absorb? No, because at that time you're so stressed. I'm diabetic. I don't know what to do. So all this information has to be continued to come in. So eventually you will know, you can even talk about it, then you'll be able to do something about it. But if you just talk about 1 to 2 lessons, you know what? You will forget. You will not do it. Now, I got to be honest. I'm an ICU nurse. I'm an ER nurse. I have 10 years of experience. I have 40 years healthcare experience. Even with that, so much more experience, I forget myself. Because when the doctor was telling me, hey, Andrew, you are a registered nurse. You're an ICU nurse. You got to know your A1C is going to 6.9. At that time, it just got into me and said, oh my goodness, I got to start doing things. I even myself forgot. Imagine that. I am 40 years experience, but I forget. Not only me, a doctor friend of mine, very good doctor friend, he has the same issue. He is a doctor. I should know, but he didn't remember either. So it's human nature. You know, but you don't gut yourself to do something. That is the issue. So you got to change that. That's why this webinar is so important to reinforce that. 嗱，各位朋友記住，喺全世界已經有438萬人係有糖尿病，香港係78萬人，前期患病2.3個 million，2.300萬啊，好大㗎嚇。咁其實咧，個個咧都需要咧係要有個生活改變，唔係淨係食藥搞掂嘅。所以千祈唔好諗住我食藥得㗎啦。咁如果你唔係前期患病同糖尿患病者都係一式一樣，所以好重要。80% 嘅朋友咧，find out 佢係糖尿患病者嘅時候咧，原來咧嗰啲人咧全部咧都係好驚奇嚇，我有糖尿病唔係嘛？同埋當係醫生話俾你有糖尿病嘅時候，多數醫生話 OK， 我教你即係上一堂書啦，或者去邊度聽書啦。但係嗰一堂書咧，你聽咗之後記唔記得晒啊？多數唔記得，因為已經好多嘢入嚟嘅時候咧，你未必有咁多。即係有咁多容易 understand 啲嘢，尤其是有啲係老啲啦，有啲後生啲啦，唔緊要嘅。但係好多時你聽一堂書係唔會記得。就算我自己有40年嘅 healthcare 嘅經驗，做咗10年 ICU nurse， 10年 ER nurse， 我都唔記得。我係記得嗰啲 concept 啊，但係做嘅時候係唔記得咗嘅。當個醫生話俾你喂6.9嘅咯 A1C， 你再唔做嘢食藥嘅咯。哇！嗰陣時嚇咗一跳，我嗰陣時即刻要 reverse， 好在依家係翻6啫。如果唔係就點糖尿真係糖尿病啦。咁我依家係前期患病，我仲係好努力降低，但係仲係做緊。但係有啲糖友咧，因為佢係已經係好 motivate 嗰啲咧，去翻5.7啊，由10至到5.7啊，叻仔過我啊！哇！真係開心啦。所以其實咧好重要咧，就係因地咧，我哋依家所講嘅嘢咧，全部係講關於點去manage 點去幫你去成個身體嘅管理糖尿病，唔係就係食嘢，因為好多喺出邊嘅坊間咧又講食依樣食嗰樣啦，唔係食嘢係講管理。So our focus here is total diabetes management for both pre-diabetic and diabetes. So net result, you will have the full picture and continue how to do diabetes management to help you out. Now, a lot of people also found in diabetes found that they are very difficult to control as time goes on. And the doctors are very simple. You know, matter of fact, I have another patient that have been with us for a couple of years now, from the very start beginning. She was saying that, hey, my blood sugar going up, and my husband also blood sugar going up. The doctor keeps saying, okay, we just add some medication. So they'll be adjusting the medication continuously. Used to be metformin 500 milligrams start up, didn't work at 1,000. 1,000 doesn't work, you'll get 1,005, and now they're 2,000. That's always a pattern. That it still doesn't work, the doctor says, well, I think I'm going to put you in insulin. Again, it just keeps medication, medication, medication. But really, at the end of the day, one factor is really get your blood sugar continue to go up. Cannot depend on just medication. Maybe because of the fact that you are already getting more and more what called insulin resistance, meaning your insulin is become less sensitive. So it doesn't take the blood sugar into the cells. So you need something to help you to increase the insulin sensitivity, to get more sugar in the cells, or also another thing to dump excess sugar out from the body, either through urine and through bowel movement, whatever. So that becomes very, very important mechanism to help you to lower your blood sugar and continue to maintain the blood sugar low. Pre-diabetic patient is the same thing. You're not diabetes yet. The doctor have no medication for you. So you are right there between diabetes, diabetic, while your insulin also will continue to work on resistant. Because remember, as your stage 2, your insulin your pancreas continue coming in, B cells coming out, your cholesterol are damaging your B cells to bring the sugar into the cells. So net result, your B cell continue goes up, but it doesn't work. So those are the so-called insulin resistance will start coming continuously, and you are not bringing the sugar into the cells. So pre-diabetic, even before you become a diabetic, even with that, probably occur many, many years ahead already. So net result, your insulin continue to pump out a lot of B cell. It didn't work. Your blood sugar, because of that, your blood sugar kind of goes up. Net result, you end up to stage 3, pre-diabetic. And already cholesterol and sugar comes in together, your blood thickening, clotting everywhere in our body. So that becomes really a bad situation for all of you. And that's why we need to correct that. So net result, keep your blood sugar low. Things will not plug everywhere of the entire body. And you talk to any real good doctor will tell you the same story, okay? 嗱，糖尿患病者一段時間，好多人咧就嗰啲糖尿一路繼續高喎。咁但係好特別咧，當你糖尿繼續高嘅時候，醫生咧多數話：哇，你啲糖尿唔係好掂啊，哇要食多啲藥啦。咁多數麥科人俾多啲藥你啦，唔夠啊，打針啦，胰島素啦。好多人就咁，其實個原因咧就係因為嗰啲糖尿病繼續高嘅時候咧，你有一個好大問題，你個胰島素繼續抗拒。多胰島素出嚟唔 work 嘅，因為帶唔到啲糖入去血管裏面。咁你食藥都係未必話真係幫助到啊。所以有陣時飲去糖茶會忽然間有幫助咧，就係因為去糖茶有一樣多謝你咧，就係佢將啲糖 block 咗，唔擺啲糖入血管裏邊啦。咁你啲糖係掉咗再糞便掉出嚟啦。第二樣嘢，佢係 increase 咗個糖嘅increase 咗個胰島素嘅sensitivity 咧，帶翻啲糖入翻去個細胞裏邊啦。excess 嘅糖咧，佢就掉咗喺個尿度掉出嚟 ，cholesterol 尿度掉出嚟。哇！呢個係好重要喎，係咪？咁你變咗嚟講咧，就降到啲糖。咁仲有啦，如果你前期患病，同樣嘅嘢，你係需要咧能夠做你個方式咧，係降低血糖。咁你降低血糖冇嘢食喎，咁屬咩啊？咁最好就飲去糖茶啦，亦都能夠幫助你係繼續降低血糖。嗱，你個胰島素抗拒咧，可能已經喺嗰度開始咗啊，不過係冇咁勁嘅啫。咁當然咧，如果你繼續控制到啦，係遲啲講嘅生活習慣咧，咁你係對你係一個十分好嘅幫助。等你唔會變咗糖尿病，亦都唔會變咗繼續好大嘅胰島素抗拒。Now, one other question a lot of my patients ask, hey, I'm a diabetic patient. Can make it so easy. Can I just depend on my medication? My blood sugar will go down so I can make a normal life. I can eat anything I want and, continue to maintain my blood sugar level to be normal because I take the medication. The answer is no. You cannot just depend on medication. It will not work. It will work short term, but because your lifestyle change did not make it, you did not make the lifestyle change. It is the habit. Wow, you know what? That is not going to work. On top of that, it will actually down the road screw you up because you have no understanding. I just take some pills. I hope it works. And net result, because you did not train lifestyle, you might continue to be big weight. You have not taken care of yourself in exercising. You don't monitor things. End up, you just get in trouble. And I saw so many people like that. And that result, they actually hurt themselves, become a very severe diabetes, total loss control, and eventually they got very sick. I treat so many diabetic patients like that. Their blood sugar went up as high as 400, came in the hospital, and their ketoacidosis, they can die, okay? I don't want to see any of you can be like that stage. So just depend on medication. It doesn't work. Don't try it. Don't even think about it. It won't work. You need to have changing lifestyle together your medication. That will work. Drinking Lowsutea together, that might even decrease your medication. Isn't that is wonderful? Less expense, better health, will good for you. 各位朋友，記住，好多糖尿病病者問過我，喂，係咪我唔使食藥？唔係，係咪我淨係可以食藥，唔會變咗好嚴重嘅糖尿病咧？咁我係咪可以用就咁食藥咧？咁我去翻普通生活習慣啦，食好多嘢啦，食buffet啦，咩都唔使做啦，係咪咁㗎？嗱，個答案係唔係？因為咧，如果你係咁樣咧，其實咧係害咗你自己，因為你自己咧都冇一個生活習慣去做轉變咗你自己。咁如果你唔係去咁轉變咧，你糖會繼續高，因為你冇生活習慣改變啊嘛。你繼續食好多甜嘢，亦都係好差噶嘛。你糖繼續高，你磅數繼續高，最後你會變咗一個好敗壞嘅糖尿病病者，同埋仲有咧係令到你咧啲糖好高。我喺 ICU 係 treat 過好多病人係咁噶啦，入到嚟佢個血糖係高到20幾個%嘅，20唔係幾多%，20度啊以上嘅。咁嗰啲係要好快脆彩，慢慢俾 insulin 你，慢慢將血糖降翻嚟。佢唔係咁快講嚟嘅喎。咁其實咧，最後咧，佢可能會好多不同嘅最後嘅併發症出現。咁呢個係一個好難對你，因為你冇一個生活習慣改唔到嘅時候咧，你係會好難改變你個身體健康嘅。所以千祈唔好以為我靠藥就搞掂啦，唔使理嘅。呢個係一個唔對嘅答案，所以千祈唔好咁樣做。Now, diabetic, pre-diabetic patient, you got to remember, you can't just depend on medication. You really depend on lifestyle change in order for you to maintain a better blood sugar levels. If you don't do your lifestyle change, you will not achieve that. You will basically, hopefully, will somewhat continue to slowly going up. But the problem, because you do not do your lifestyle change, in other words, I don't exercise, I don't do diet, I don't weight control, net result, actually, you will screw up your health. Definitely. I can pretty much sure, man, I saw too many people like that. So think lifestyle change. So you might say, what is lifestyle change? Well, it's very simple. All you got to do is just low carb diet. And then you have to exercise. Very simple. Just walk. It's not run, walk. Certainly, if you want to be more aggressive with some weightlifting, but just walk 150 minutes per week. Walk will achieve that. And you have to keep your weight down with a healthy range. Your BMI got to be over under 23 or 25 at least. You do that, I can assure you your health becomes so much more better than many years before. And plus, you know, when you do that, you have to track your blood sugar. If you don't track your blood sugar, you might not actually, if you don't track your blood sugar, we might not know where you're at. So you really have to continue to measure blood sugar in order to tell where you're at. Your A1C, is it under 614 or you are still at 7% or 10%. So very important, you have to continue to move your A1C lower than 6.4 if you have diabetes. If you are pre-diabetic, hope that you can move your A1C from 6.4 all the way to 5.7. Many customers, my patients would say, wow, can that be done? And you know what? I educate them for 6 months. You know what? Their A1C was all the way 6 and below. And many people say, wow, it really achieved that. But if I didn't point it out to them, they will not do it. And they did now, they're so happy because they achieved their goal. 嗱，各位糖友，如果你係糖尿病者或者前期患病者，其實每一個人咧，呢兩個 group 嘅人咧，都要改咗佢嘅生活習慣嘅。如果改唔到生活習慣咧，佢就係靠食藥咧，係永遠降唔到佢血糖，一個好嘅血糖降低。佢可能會越整越上，因為慢慢升上去。咁其實乜嘢叫改嘅生活習慣啊？好簡單，食物控制咧要撈低嘅碳水化合物食物啦。第二啦，要做運動啦。第三，要你個磅數控制啦。咁第四，仲有一樣好重要，你要繼續係咩啊？度血糖啊！如果你唔度你血糖咧，係唔知嘅，所以咧一定要繼續係度你每日嘅血糖係幾多啦，同埋你嘅 A1C 係幾多啦。咁然後先知道，哇！原來 A1C 係已經7以上或者10咯喎，咁你要降翻去6.7%、6.4% 以下。呢啲係全部都係要你去改咗生活習慣，你一定要繼續知道你點做。如果唔係咧，你係冇改到咧 ，sorry 啦，你真係亦都唔知你血糖高啊低，亦都就算你做咗嘢，亦都唔知你效果係點。所以做完嘢之後，最緊要知道，哇！你個血糖去到邊度咧？你 average blood sugar， 你每日嘅平均血糖指數喺邊度咧？同埋你個 A1C 喺邊度咧？你一定要知道。So very important, you really have to have daily measure your average blood sugar and understand your 3-month A1C and your life diet change from diet, exercise, and weight control in order for us to do that. So I want to give you 3 things to remember, very easy. The lifestyle change. As you know, diabetes is a lifelong disease, so you do need to have some lifestyle change. And you really got to do is very important. 1, you have to understand what is the healthy diet. It's a low-carb healthy diet. Don't forget, you change your low-carb healthy diet. That is something that you must do. First step. Second step, you have to exercise regularly. If you exercise regularly, 150 minutes per week, and then you have to do that, you most likely, you will also, your diet, low carb diet, low fat diet, and also your low carb diet, and with your exercise, your weight will come down for sure. But make it easy for you to, 3 things remember is diet, exercise. What is the third one? Is lower your stress. Because stress, unfortunately, it increases your blood sugar. I'll tell you why later. So 3 things remember, very simple. Healthy diet, exercise, and manage your stress. Now, make it easy for you to remember so you can all practice. 糖尿患病者，你記住，你呢個成世嘅病嚟嘅，係一世都唔會好嘅，只能夠控制。咁3樣嘢咧，幫助你控制好簡單。第一係你嘅 exercise，sorry， 你嘅 diet， 你係要有個低嘅碳水化合物嘅食材啦 ，low fat 啦，要減肥嘅 diet 啦，同埋咧你要做 exercise。第2樣嘢要做 exercise。第3，好多人唔知道咧，原來你嘅壓力管制你壓力。當你3樣做到之後咧，你第一，因為你 diet 同埋你 exercise 咧，你會令到你磅數會降低㗎啦。咁但係如果你控制到壓力咧，咁仲有咧，你血糖都會降低。個原因因為壓力咧係整嗰個血糖嘅。所以點解我整咗3個 point 俾你咧，係容易你記住 ，healthy diet 即係好嘅食材 ，low carb、low 鹽、low 低鹽低呢個肥嘅 ，OK 要 lean diet 啦，咁要 exercise， 咁要 manage。 你個 stress 3樣 diet, exercise, and stress will help you to better control. So keep that in mind. Diet, exercise, and stress manage. You will help you. So 咁我哋而家睇下點去能夠控制你呢個4個生活習慣咧，係令到你會能夠可以降低血糖咧。So what is the 4 lifestyle, the key? Because now I put down to more key lifestyle changes can help you to enhance your blood sugar health, okay? So I become now more focused, make it easy to remember because I found too many things you might not be able to remember. So I make it easy for you to remember. Okay, now we talk about just now, dieting. So how do you focus diet? So diet, you really have to have a very good diet by low carb diet. So focus on your choice. So you got to keep in mind, dieting is very interesting. What do you mean low carb diet? And a lot of time, a dieting cannot be one time fit all. And you cannot just say, wow, everybody do this, I can do the same, or it has to fit me. Give me one example. Shanghainese lady come to see me. She's not eating a lot of the sweet already. But the problem is her major diet is all buns, you know, this white bun, and also noodles. She said, I already don't eat rice for years because it's not our culture. So at the end of the day, I found if she is continue to eat the buns, her blood sugar will go blow up. So really, you gotta focus the choice that is really feed you, but not necessary is against your culture and things like that. It will be hard. Like Chinese, they like rice. So you tell them to cut down the rice. What kind of rice as maybe I can substitute? So what another suggestion is maybe you can brown rice, small portion, about like this, brown rice, instead of eating the white processed rice. So again, you can make some change. So really at the end of the day, you gotta really make the carbs, the product that you have, fit your need, okay? So that is something that is so important. So really the diet cannot fit one, one type of diet fit all. So you have Western, you have Chinese, you have Vietnamese, you have the Vietnamese are all noodles, a lot of noodles. So all those has to adjust and change to make sure that fits you. So you can talk to a dietitian and doctor to help you out. Secondly, you have to have control the portion. As I always mention, the plate control. I found that this is easy to measure by all my diabetic friends. 1/4 are all vegetable. In other words, it's all salad. It could be cooked vegetable for Chinese. They don't like cold salad. So it's okay. We eat, all cooked, half a plate of all vegetable. Any green vegetable, as long as not starchy, is okay. Just any vegetable like broccoli, choy sum, asparagus, celery, anything, but all half vegetable. And you eat half bowl of vegetable, or 1/2, and 1/4 plate is all lean protein like fish, chicken, what have you, turkey, doesn't matter, any lean meat. And then 1/4 is your plant, it could be your starch item, but you use brown rice as a regular rice, or you can even eat tofu if you want to, as more protein, okay? So a whole grain item you want to, hummus, that would be another choice, if you can able to take hummus. So all depends on your needs. But imagine if I take 3/4 plate already, are all really low carbs item, low fat item. You know what? I found just practicing that, my weight come down just on diet. My weight came down about 5 pounds within 5-month period. That's a good 1 pound a month. So, and I actually did that from 225 pounds. Now I came down to 190 now. I am achieved 190. And my next goal is 185 and eventually 180. So I'm doing my part to really achieve all the weight. And I was surprised. I said, wow, I can get it done. Diet is really got to do that. Exercise got to really help you do that. So two things will help you lower weight, and diet and exercise actually works. Now, certainly drinking Lowsutea become very important, because Lowsutea will also help you to lower your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and then eventually lower your blood pressure and detox. So add Lowsutea part of your diet. That will be really give you the perfect, complete dieting to help you to lower your blood sugar. Okay? 各位同友，我知道咧，好多人就話：哇，咁糖尿病食咩好啊？我而家低碳水化合物，但係個個人都未必啱嘅喎。咁點樣去做呢樣嘢咧？咁你要同醫生傾下偈，護士傾偈，同埋我哋本身咧，每個人咧都有不同嘅文化。好似有個上海朋友咧，佢係食咩啊？麵同埋食饅頭。哇！佢食嗰啲饅頭食親之後咧，佢血糖好鬼高嘅。咁我要話俾你聽啊，你可唔可以唔食饅頭啊？唔得喎，食咁多年。咁我哋食咩咧？要同佢改嘅時候咧，喺個飯嗰度咧又唔可以食白飯喎，要改食咗紅米喎。咁係要剔好多時間慢慢改嘅。咁但係改之後咧，佢就好開心啦，因為佢而家食嘢咧係習慣咗啦。咁佢嗰紅米咧就可以有啲嚼嘅，就好過食白飯啦，係咪？咁仲有啦。喺方面咧就係另外有越南嘅朋友咧就係食麵嘅，咁我叫佢唔好食咁樣麵咧，佢話一個係一個好大嘅改變習慣啦。但係重要點，佢依家係點啊？我哋所有朋友 end up 就食好多菜，一半成半碗係菜嚟嘅，咁佢係1/3食麵即係呢個瘦嘅肉啦，有魚啦，有瘦嘅雞啦，唔食雞皮啦。食啲瘦肉啦，咁其他嗰啲咧就係普通嘅，係咁多飯嘅啫，咁多飯。咁但係佢啲飯係紅米嚟喎，唔係白飯喎，所以變咗嚟講食完飯咧，佢都好舒服。原來食呢啲嘢之後咧，可能真係降低你個磅數啦，降低血糖啦。食完之後你度翻，你就知道啊，原來我都係 A1 我個血糖都6.5嘅啫喎，或者係120嘅啫喎。milligram per day 啊，咁幾好係咪？所以好重要咧，其實咧要食嗰方面咧要有好控制。咁其實咧仲有咧就係你食嗰豆腐咧，豆腐係好有 good protein 噶嘛。咁同埋咧仲有咧啲穀類嘅東西啦，全穀物啦 ，OK，wheat 啦嗰啲咁東西係對你好有。咁最重要咧，最後飲去糖茶，因為去糖茶幫助你降低血糖啦，降低你膽固醇啦。就降低你嘅血壓啦，仲有 detox， 所以每日咧都要飲埋去糖茶，咁你先能夠 complete 咗你個整體嘅做嘅工作。咁希望呢個好緊要diet啊。Okay, the second one is really beside dieting, you gotta really have exercise. Now I mentioned many times, it's very simple. You don't have to do very hard exercise, and I know many of the older folks are 50 years old, I don't exercise. So how do you start? Well, just walk shopping mall. You walk every day 30 minutes and then start to 40 minutes, can be 1 hour. And you go to a shopping mall, walk. Wow, it's so good. You can able to achieve your daily exercise. Now, certainly if you're more aggressive, I can do a 75-minute per week, very vigorous, lifting weight and stuff like that, or aerobic. But more important, you have to continue to do it. I think there's a typo here. It's 150 minutes per week. 150, not 50 minutes per week. It's 150 minutes per week. I'm sorry for the typo. So this is a typo here. It's 150 minutes. I just noticed there's a 0 missing. Okay, so you can make sure to do 150 minutes per week. And you can do 30 minutes first and then 40 minutes per day later and on and build it up. So okay. But more important, you really have to get more active. Most effectively improved insulin resistance, improved insulin is active. Doing housework, washing your car, yard work. All these activities actually help you to improve insulin resistance. And also if you exercise, what happens is good is that the muscle is going to start using your blood sugar instead of using insulin. So net result, your blood sugar will go down instead of using insulin. Isn't that wonderful? So that way, exercise is so important. OK， 嗱，各位同學，唔好意思，呢度有個 typo 啦，15分鐘唔係15分，係150分鐘啊！每個禮拜要150分鐘嘅運動。唔好意思，呢個係錯咗嘅，係150分鐘嘅運動，你先能夠令到你咧係好容易150分。咁香港好容易啊！你話好熱咯，唔得，咪行下 shopping mall 咯。太太食完飯之後落去行頭頭30分鐘，然後40分鐘，然後50分鐘，然後1個鐘頭咁翻屋企。哇！呢個人成身傷。點解會好重要啊？因為你行咧係將你個胰島素抗拒咧係降低咗嘅。仲有行咧，因為你行咧，你又用緊你啲肌肉啊。咁個肌肉咧係會 burn out 咗，即係用咗啲血糖咧，唔係用 insulin， 唔係用胰島素啲血糖。所以變咗嚟講咧，你用咗你嘅血糖，尤其是食完飯先行咧更加好，因為你嘅 excess 多咗嘅血糖出嚟咧，全部喺嗰度行咗之後用咗佢，哇幾開心啊！咁你又唔會加咗血糖喺身體裏邊，又能夠令個身體健康瘦啲，又可能夠令到胰島素低啲抗拒，哇一流啊真係，係咪？嗱 ，so if you exercise, besides you can able to lower your blood sugar.Improve your insulin resistance. Another thing is also can help you to decrease your potential. Guess what? Obesity, fat. Okay, you don't want to get extra fat tissue because when you have extra fat tissue, it causes inflammation, and fat causes stress. When it causes stress, it doesn't help you to respond to insulin. The insulin becomes making harder to get your sugar into the cells.So you really want to get that off by getting less obese. And then obese here is the big tummy coming up. So you got to really have your regular exercise to prevent obesity. 嗱，記住運動咧幫助你減低嘅 potential 肥胖嘅。如果你肥胖咧唔好，因為點解咧？你胰島素會有繼續高嘅抗拒咧，就弊家伙啦。So一定要令到佢咧，唔好令到胰島素抗拒，同埋肥胖咧，你係肥咗之後咧，你好多 fat cells 啊，同埋會令到你啊更加咧，你會係有好多繼續壓力咧，咁你胰島素又繼續抗拒啦，咁人一直繼續肥胖咧就唔正仔啦。So the third lifestyle changes, you have to get weight loss. And you weight loss to actually, if you continue weight loss, you will actually slow down your resistance of insulin resistance. When you decrease your body weight 10%, your A1C drop 1%. So your A1C is 8, you drop down to 7, and on and on. So try to lower your weight 10%, set that goal. And then your A1C will drop 1% and insulin resistance will go down, okay?So important, remember, weight loss is important, is part of your lifestyle change, okay? 嗱，各位朋友，第3個生活習慣改變就係降低你個磅數啦。你降低磅數之後咧，你個胰島素抗拒就會又降低嘅，同埋咧敏感度亦都會 increase 咗嘅。咁即係你個胰島素抗拒會降低。胰島素嘅 sensitivity 會 improve 咗，如果可以帶翻啲嗰個糖入翻血管個細胞裏邊啦。咁所以如果你 body weight 降低咧，仲有你會個胰島素嘅 sensitivity go up 啦。第一，第二咧，你個磅數降低，你 A1C 如果10% body weight 降低咧，你 A1C improve 1%。如果你8%，你變咗係會變咗係7%，咁幾好。你嘅 target 係6%，記住，你個 target A1C 係6%。So let's do that. Now a lot of people don't talk about because they talk about diet, they talk about exercise, they talk about weight control. But one more thing they forgot to talk about is what? Stress management. If you continue to have stress, your blood sugar will continue goes up.Your blood pressure goes up. Your heart rate goes up. I don't know if you remember. Wow, I'm scared, man. I'm stressed. Your heart rate will go boom, 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 boom. Those are not good for you. And it also increase your emotional impact you. And you can't sleep because you're stressed. Oh, I got nightmare. And it disrupts your sleep. So you don't sleep well, your blood sugar goes up. And you try to see, if the night that your blood sugar goes up, measure your blood sugar. It really not really good. You start off a day with like 8%, 8 or 140 and above. Isn't that bad? And it really also, when you are stressed, it triggers some bad habit for you. Many people will smoke. Many people will drink alcohol because, calm me down. But that really worse than you, worse for you because it stress your body. You actually get more sugars up. And also you start chewing what? Unhealthy snack. I start eating what? Chips, cookies, and you got to keep eating because you're stressed. So all those will increase your sugar and actually increase your weight and increase your insulin resistance. So all those who come in, it will damage your health. More important with all that is another way to increase your insulin resistance is because all these stress, forget it. So manage your stress, help yourself, relax, deep breathing every day. Take 10 minutes of quiet time, walk around the park, seeing the greens and helping you to understand the world is beautiful. Enjoy your life, be positive. Manage your stress is so important. 各位同友，好重要啦！你真係要管理嘅壓力。嗱，壓力咧，如果係高嘅話咧，有好大問題嘅原因就係咩咧？第一，你血糖會上去啦，你血壓又會上去啦，你心又會嘣嘣跳快啲啦。咁同埋仲有你會令到好猛震啦。個原因就係因為你 stress 啊嘛，瞓覺瞓唔到啦，夜晚發惡夢啦。同埋仲有咧 ，stress 咧係令到你一個人咧會好多壞嘅習慣出現嘅。你會可以食煙啦，可能飲酒啦，因為飲酒諗住cool me down，其實唔係，增加血糖嘅。仲有咧好多時咧就會係做咗好多食嗰啲叫唔健康嘅雜物，好似薯條啊、糖啊、食呢個餅乾啊，繼續食嘢，呢啲全部係increase 你嘅血糖，增加血糖，同埋咧係對身全部唔好嘅。所以呢個咧 you have to 真係控制你個管理。So you really have to manage your stress in order to lower your blood sugar, prevent all these unhealthy habits, increase your calories, increase your blood sugar, and net result, you are overweight and it's not right. It's not good for you. Last but not least, whatever you do, you have to see your result. You see your result, you have to measure your blood sugar. Now, you can measure blood sugar by pricking your finger too. Don't have to be just average liver. But it is good that you have a 24 hours real-time feedback of your blood sugar reading. That will be good. But if you do not have that, no problem. You can prick your finger 4 times a day. And that 4 times a day is, 1 in the morning and every 2 hours after meal. Then you write it down, the number. Are you 120 after you eat 2 hours later, or 140, or 160, or 180, or 200? All those numbers has to read it. Or you are, after you eat 2 hours would be something like 6, or you are 7, or you 8, 9, 10. All those are written down. So that will give you some idea what you have done. The reason why I said it's good to have a Libby, the reason you don't have to do it long time. You can do it only 2 months and then you stop, and then 6 months later do it again. Give you the ongoing feedback, what is your glucose or your blood sugar is going to be. Learn about the meal you take, the snack you take. Did it increase your blood sugar? Now, a lot of people didn't realize if I eat healthy snack like coconut with some nuts, you know what? Blood sugar doesn't go out, but I'm satisfied. I can able to do it. That will really good. And on top of that, also the type of exercise. If I walk after 1 hour, my blood sugar dropped down to 5.7 or something like 70, 80, 90. Wow, that's wonderful. So walk works on you. And also, you know what kind of lifestyle will help you to getting best to help you to lower your blood sugar to achieve your goal. So even the Abbott Libby, a lot of my Hong Kong customer now, they measure 2 months and they stop because they learn all about it. And in about 3-4 months later, they start again, maybe a week or 2 weeks to measure, another 2 weeks later, doesn't matter. But they at least continue to monitor. So worthwhile to spend that money to really continue to learn, because you poke your finger, you only know 1 point. But when you have ability, you know what? You have 24 hours, understand what you're doing. You can learn about your meal, your snack, what will increase your blood sugar, the exercise, what is good for you, and what is the best for you and help you achieve the blood sugar goal. So these are really, at the end of the day, is so important for you to learn about blood sugar through a monitoring device. You could be poking a finger, but ability easier is no pain. 25 measures 24 times is okay. Okay? 嗱，各位朋友，你要記住，因為糖尿病咧，你唔度咧，你真係唔知你自己係乜嘅。咁所以咧，好重要咧，係要繼續度你嘅血糖。度你血糖咧，就要知道乜嘢叫做食嘅嘢係咪 OK 咧？你個小食或者你個零食係咪 OK 咧？咁如果你唔度，你唔知喎。所以其實咧，好有呢個咧，就可以能夠好容易知道啊，原來我係食咗零食，呢啲嘢係俾到好高血糖嘅，或者去到160嘅，唔好食啦，係咪？咁你一定要知道嘢。咁再 exercise， 我行咗1個鐘頭，原來我降低血糖去到5點幾嘅，或者100度嘅，哇！梗係繼續行啦。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，呢個係好重要嘅，因為呢個measure 呢血糖之後咧，你可能夠 measure 大概1-2個月，咁你停，然後再3-4個月後又再 measure。咁你知道你個用咗呢不同嘅 lifestyle 幫助你咧，能夠降低你血糖咧，令到係更加好有，即係好有一個生活習慣嘅改變。有咩能夠改變到你能夠更加好嘅生活習慣？咁你就可能夠控制呢個血糖係更加好。So really important, you have to remember using a blood glucose monitoring like Abbott Libby, Freestyle Libby, or you can pick your fingers, same thing. Only thing you got to do it 4 times a day. First time in the morning, and then after that, every time is 2 hours after lunch or dinner or breakfast. So you got to write it down so you know what are you doing. Or you do your exercise, and after 2 hours of exercise, you also write it down. Then you can see what is the effect of your exercise and your diet. So that will do the same thing, but you got to write it down to understand. So you really have you help you to prevent any spike of sugar and not help you to screw up your program, and you can do what is good for you, your lifestyle. So blood sugar is really, monitoring is very important. Now, so, sorry it took a little longer to talk about, but today is very important. I love this picture, by the way. You should take a picture of this picture because it really gives you the entire summary of the things that we do. If you're a type 2 diabetic, you really have to control your blood sugar, not just by medication. Certainly you will take medication together, but you have to do more. Now, in order to do more, you got to do your lifestyle change. Now, pre-diabetic, same thing. You have no drugs, but the same thing, you have to control your blood sugar level. And in order to do that, you cannot just by saying that, well, I will control by diet alone. It's not. You have to whole lifestyle change. If you change that, you know what? You so get used to adapt that change. In the event, if you are really getting worse, your lifestyle will make sure to help you to actually control that, so you don't even have to get into medication down the road. So even pre-diabetic, get the habit first, so you can decrease your risk to get diabetic conversion and future diabetic complication. Those are so good for you. So keep that in mind. do the lifestyle change. So what is lifestyle change? You have to go low carb diet. Diet number 1, diet with a D. Low carb diet, low fat diet, and then you have proportion plate, half vegetable, and 1/4 is lean meat, protein, and then the other quarter is your brown rice. And that's how you do it. You drink Lowsutea, lower your blood sugar, part of your daily supplement. Very simple. You have to also exercise, 150 minutes per week exercise. Walk, it's that simple. If you do aggressive, 75 minutes you do, but walk is very easy. Weight loss, really got to control the weight, because more weight you have, more insulin resistance. And that result, you're going to get worse and worse. So how do you weight loss? Exercise, diet, weight will come down, definitely. If you lower amount of calorie you take, you exercise, you burn off excess calorie, your weight guarantee will come down. And when you do that, you have your BMI 23, you achieve that goal. Continue to do that. And you have to manage your stress, because stress actually is a silent thing that you don't know. You continue to increase your blood sugar, and that will be bad for you. And you have to measure the result all the time. How do you measure? Get a free ability, or get your finger pricking, measure 4 times a day. If you don't measure 4 times a day, I'm sorry, you might have an issue. So very important, you have to know where you're at. How do you get 4 times a day? You have to do it before, when you wake up, you know where your blood sugar is, and then 2 hours after you eat, where the blood sugar is. Every meal, you do it, so 4 times a day. If you can do 1 more time before sleep, even better. So, but you have 4 times, it will be very good. If not, get a ability, you can able to measure the meal you took, the snack you took, and then the exercise you done, and the activity you done, which help you lower blood sugar. That will be wonderful. So today, this is my lecture. There's some questions here which I want to answer. Thank you, 英平. I appreciate you ask question. 多謝英平，你今日問個糖尿病嘅問題咧，就係呢個糖尿病如何能夠係咪可以飲 soda water？ 嗱，如果你淨係 soda water 唔甜嘅 soda water， 即係有氣嘅水咧，係冇問題喎。但係如果有汽水再加可樂啊嗰啲唔係叫 regular， 即係依家你知有啲氣嘅水咧係冇糖嘅，只係加氣落去啫。但係如果有汽水有糖咧，就唔可以飲啦，因為嗰啲係卡路里好高，亦都你個 carbs 好高。因為普通嘅汽水咧，差唔多有300個 carb 又有啦，好多不同嘅 ，depends 係咩汽水啦。所以其實汽水就唔好意思唔飲得啦。So 記住，即係我哋今日講嘅嘢咧，係點4個 lifestyle 個即係轉嘅 lifestyle。第一係要低啦，低碳水化合物食物啦。第二要喺個去糖茶低裏邊諗埋去糖茶啦。唔可以飲汽水啦，即係汽水咩汽水啊？即係甜嘅，即係可樂啊、七喜啊嗰啲唔飲得啦。就算 juice 啊，即係果汁都唔得，因為果汁好糖，好多糖啊嘛。要繼續努力咩啊？繼續努力係 exercise 啦，即係運動啦，同埋要減磅啦。咁減磅咧，其實你如果做咗 dieting 繼續 exercise 咧，磅數都會降低，因為你卡路里唔好食咁多卡路里嘅嘢咧，你個磅達唔到呢個1500嘅話咧，你一定會慢慢降低㗎啦。咁變咗嚟講咧，你仲要咩啊 ？manage 個 stress 啊，你個壓力啊，壓力係 increase 嘅血糖嘅，你 manage 壓力。咁最後啦，就一定要咧係降低你個用你個血糖機去 measure， 最好你買一個Abbott 嘅 Libby 嘅血糖機啦。咁然後繼續 measure 你食嘅嘢有咩能夠 increase 血糖啦。你仲有咧係你嘅運動有咩能夠幫助你降低血糖啦。仲有啦，咁然後咧就係呢個要 manage 你個 stress 咧， 咁亦都如果你有血糖機咧，如果你好 stressful 咧，你睇到血糖高 up 咧，咁亦都知道哇要降低 calm down 啦，係咪？或者做 exercise 亦都可以知道 calm down。所以其實有個 level 係好重要嘅，好幫助嘅。Okay, so I have some more good question. Good question from Hawaii from Eugene. Hi Eugene. When do I do my full glucose reading before or after meal? Okay, it's important. The first thing in the morning, you should do one measurement of the glucose meeting, picking a finger in the morning. Usually in the morning, you say, I start off, I already 7, in Hong Kong, will be 7 millimole per liter, or you're already, 130, okay, you're a startup. And then 2 hours after your breakfast, you take the measurement again. If you're 2 hours after breakfast, you are still at 180, 190. Now you know your blood sugar is very high. Then you need to start understanding maybe 3 hours later, what is your blood sugar is going to be. If your blood sugar actually drop back down to 120, you're okay. Even 130, you're better. But on the end, you are continue 190. You continue to measure that, you are really not good. So you really need to take 2 hours after your eating. Then you understand that your blood sugar went back to normal level or better level, like 120, 130. If you are really above that, then you know you are really need to do more exercise, or the food you intake are not really, really good. In other words, you have very high carb food is not really giving you the best result, meaning that you want to put, maybe eat too much rice. So you got to change to adjust the carbs to lower back your blood sugar. So very important, after 2 hours, after every meal, plus first thing in the morning, the first reading before you get after breakfast. So that is the thing, the full glucose reading. Now you are ability, you just keep doing measurement. It's so easy, right? But you don't. 4 time picking is first thing in the morning and then 2 hours after meal. Okay, I hope that everybody okay. Now, so secondly, Gordon, thank you very much for asking questions. So nice to have you. My Hawaii friends are very good. Now, eating long rice. Now, I think long rice actually make of rice product. So depends on the type of long rice, but long rice is still considered one of the starchy item. So I understand if they're made by really rice making, your carbs can be higher. So you have to look at the label. What is the long rice made of the carbs? So very important. Every package you have to read. You have to read the carbs of it give you 120 gram or 50 gram or 20 gram or 30 gram. So you have to learn that. By the way, let me translate that the full glucose reading first. 嗱，各位朋友，阿Eugene咧係 Hawaii 嘅，佢問一個好好問題啦。佢話：你如果我唔用 App-Libby 點度血啊？咁每日度4次。第一次咧就係朝頭早一起身度一次。第二次咧就係我食完飯2個鐘頭後，總之落早餐、晏晝餐、晚餐2個鐘頭後都要度呢個血糖嘅。咁如果個血糖譬如好似我度完之後，哇，點解會去到10嘅？咁你已經好有問題喎，或者8咧都好有問題喎，即係你血糖唔跌落嚟。咁因為你食嘅嘢影響你血糖好高咧，即係食好多飯啊嗰啲東西咧，或者我食咗饅頭咧，哇！我有個堂友就係咁啦。晚晚食饅頭，佢血糖咧2個鐘頭都係15嘅，咁好高啦，唔啱喎。咁呢個咧佢戒咗之後咧，佢血糖咧降翻得6、7、8，咁食埋藥咧飲埋血糖茶咧去翻6點幾，好正。所以變咗嚟講咧，好重要咧，你嘅食物2個鐘頭你血糖係點樣？仲有你有冇做 exercise 咧？咁2個鐘頭之後食咗之後咧，改變食物咧，多數咧就睇你嘅效果係 good 嘅。如果你做晒所有嘢，食嘅嘢好 OK，即係唔係嗰啲高碳水化合物即係 no high carb 嘅東西，但係血糖都唔跌咧，咁可能咧你要同醫生傾下偈咧，係咪要 adjust 啲藥啦？ 或者飲去糖茶係飲多啲啦。咁你飲去啊，你可能幫到你㗎，因為好多朋友咧，佢血糖高咧，飲咗血糖茶之後，因為佢將個血糖嗰個胰島素嗰個抗拒係降低咗 ，increase 咗個 sensitivity， 咁啊帶翻啲糖咧入去細胞度 ，excess 糖係掉咗尿出嚟。咁好多糖友飲咗胰島素之後咧，血糖真係慢慢降翻低嚟嘅。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，試下飲 instead 2包啦，你可能要飲3包，咁變咗嚟講咧，血糖真係會降低嘅。I just want to also clarify one more thing. A lot of people don't realize because of high insulin resistance. So we found that if they drink Lowsutea instead of 2 bags, they see the blood sugar is like 180, 190 after 2 hours. So they actually end up drinking more Lowsutea instead of 2 bags. Now they use 3 bags a day. In other words, every meal, they use 1 bag of Lowsutea. You know what? The result was excellent. The blood sugar actually started going down, meaning that their blood sugar after 2 hours, instead of 160, 180, they start going down to 140 and 120, and maybe below 120. So I see that all the time now. So if people really, the reason why I do that is because the Lowsutea, the beta melon, help them to take the sugar into the cells and the excess dump through urine and get rid of it through the urine. And also the gravity blocking sugar into the cells, into the blood vessel. So net result, overall, they lower the blood sugar that way. So if your blood sugar doesn't come down, you should drink 1 more bag of Lowsutea to help you. If all this still doesn't work, then you might need to talk to the doctor, maybe adjust medication. Maybe your body, the insulin resistance is so high, it doesn't work anymore. Now, majority of my case right now is very good. They drink more Lowsutea. It did work. So try that first. Okay. Now, guys, so I'm going to answer Gordon's question. Now, if you have cardamom, ketchup, pickle, radish, you know what? Ketchup is very high in sugar, unfortunately. So if you can get rid of the ketchup, it's actually better for you, or get little ketchup, because as you know, ketchup is actually made of a lot of sugar and is a processed food. So you got to take your ketchup. I found different brand of ketchup also have different amount of carbs in grams. The European ketchup are very good, have little carbs. The American ketchup is bad, lots of carbs, because make it sweet, make it taste better for you. So it really depends. Pickle, relish, the same thing. So it depends on the type of different pickle. You want a sweet pickle, have more carbs. Less sweet pickle, you have less carbs. Sour might not have carbs. So you have to read the label, see the carbohydrate, what it is, the carbs in grams. So you have to look at that. Then if you have that, that will help you. No, if your long rice made of potato, starch, mung beans, water, carbs is 90, wow, 52 grams. Now, so keep that in mind. If you eat long rice, you got 52 gram carbs. Imagine each day you have only 150 grams, maybe 149, 150 grams of carbs. So you eat the long rice, you already get half of the, 1/3 of the carbs. So keep that in mind. So thanks, Edwina. Appreciate your assistance. Long rice is tasty, but you can eat it once in a while, and then you got to minus back all the carbs that you're going to have. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. Might not be necessarily good for you if you eat maybe you little bit long rice and lower the carbs. Maybe that's possible. But if you have 52 grams, it's already took 1/3 of your carb requirement. Don't forget your carb is about 150 grams per day, no more than 200 grams per day. So you want to control your carb. That's where we start off. So thank you very much. You guys are excellent, very good. 嗱，各位朋友記住，如果你有茄汁或者用個酸瓜，你要睇翻個罐裏邊個樽啊，或者罐有幾多 carbs 啊，你嘅碳水幾多 gram 嘅碳水化合物。美國嘅茄汁咧係好高嘅，咁你食咗呢啲嘢咧就真係多 carb 就麻麻地啦。所以呢個好重要咧，唔好食咁多 carbs 咧個 gram 數咧係當佢好幫助。你食個 hot dog，原來你已經有20個 gram carb， 搞到你個 carb 好高咯。變咗食咗嘢之後，你令到你糖一定上去嘅。所以呢個係一定要控制咧，就睇翻個罐同埋嗰個產品裏邊嗰啲 carb 係點樣。OK， so wonderful, you guys have so much good questions, so much exchange. I appreciate all the time you ask wonderful questions, especially Eugene. Those are good questions, and thanks to Edwina to help us to get me 52 grams for the long rise, and Gordon asked the question, and Yingpeng asking the question of soda water. Thank you. I appreciate your participation. I hope we all learn together and motivate ourselves to change your lifestyle with diet, with drinking Lowsutea, exercise, weight control, manage your stress, measure your blood sugar. If you do that, the chances of you getting diabetic complication, lower your risk of your diabetic conversion will be extremely high. 各位堂友，多謝各位問咁多好嘅問題，又多謝英拼問啲問題啦。咁我希望大家都學到好多嘢，因為咧呢個轉你個 lifestyle 係好重要。喺食物方面咧 ，dieting 啦，飲去糖茶啦，同 exercise 咧去運動啦，同埋降低你嘅磅數啦，同埋要管理嘅壓力啦，同埋咧你個measure 你個糖血糖啦，用呢Abbott Libby 啊，或者用呢個篤手指啊，呢啲係全部係幫助你改變咗你生活習慣。如果你做到呢樣嘢嘅話咧 ，chance 你會轉咗差嘅糖尿病咧，或者你係前期患病唔會變糖尿病咧，係多咗好多。咁你咧就生活亦都能夠健康，亦都能夠控制呢個病情。所以呢個咧係幫助大家咧能夠繼續努力做嘢，能夠繼續身體健康。So I appreciate everybody participating, asking all or answering all my questions or answering all the participant questions. I appreciate it. I learned a lot from everybody too. So thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend and aloha, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.